We are getting knee deep into goal planning for 2025, and I am throwing in a couple of bonus episodes this week. We're throwing it back to one of my favorite episodes. And why? Because I truly want you to step into 2025 ready to crush your goals and create that balanced, intentional life that you've been seeking. Now, if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you know that two of my biggest keys to a balanced life are having a plan and giving yourself grace. Whether it's meal planning so you don't end up in the grocery store with a cart full of cookies or creating a roadmap for a big career goal, you've got to have a strategy. So, this throwback episode walks you through practical steps to set yourself up for a successful 2025. And it's packed with actionable tips to help you plan, prioritize, and most importantly, stay consistent. And if you're ready to take your goal setting to the next level, I've got a limited time discount on my monthly coaching packages to help you make those 2025 dreams a reality. Check the link in the show notes for the details. But if you want to accomplish a goal, you need to take the time to actually plan out how you're going to achieve that goal. And in my coaching session packages, we focus on goals. I work with you to help you get clarity on what it is you really want to accomplish. Do you want to go for that promotion at work without impacting your family life? Do you want to get in better shape and find time to actually make it to the gym 3 times a week? Or are you crazy like me and you have a dream to start your own business, but have no idea how to do it without cloning yourself? Or do you simply just want to get more organized and in control of your schedule so you don't feel burnt out and can actually have quality time with your family? I meet you wherever you are in your journey, and we start by creating clear goals, and then we map out your week and build routines to help you actually accomplish those goals. We meet weekly to check in, to discuss what worked, what didn't work, and what you may need to tweak to do a little better in the next week. So for a limited time, I'm offering $50 off my 1-month coaching packages. Check out the link in the show notes, or you can go to my website, momwifecareerlife.com. But in this throwback episode, I'm walking you through how to set yourself up for a successful 2025. So it's time to get to work. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first, because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. We're jumping right in today because I want you to spend as much of your free time that you have this week, and let's face it, we're moms, so we don't have a lot, working on your goals. So grab that notebook and grab your favorite pen and let's get started. Number 1, set clear goals. I did an entire episode about SMART goals. It's episode number 5. I'll link it in the show notes, and I encourage you to listen to it if you really want to crush your goals. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So breaking that down, your goal should be specific, black and white. If you want to lose weight, put a number to it. I want to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds. If you want to exercise, go to the gym 3 times a week, budget. Maybe you want to pay down some debt. What number do you want to pay off by the end of the year or by a certain date? When you're specific, then you can actually measure them because you have a number or a date that you need to track to. Attainable and relevant and time-bound can go hand in hand. Make your goals realistic and relevant to you. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds, aiming to lose 20 pounds in a month is not realistic or even healthy, unless you have a very large number to lose. If your goal is to run a marathon in February, but you've never run before, that's really not attainable. There is a whole training process that goes into it. Not that I'm any expert, I could barely run around the block without keeling over, but you get my point. Number 2, create a plan. Once you have an idea of what goals you want to achieve, create an actionable plan on how you actually are going to achieve them. If losing weight is your goal, how are you going to lose the weight? If you want to exercise, are you going to join a gym or do it at home? If you want to start a hobby or a side business, maybe you need to take a course. Take the time to figure out all of the pieces you need to be successful and plan. For me, this time last year, I knew I wanted to start a podcast. So I knew one of the things I needed to be successful was a mic to actually record my podcast. So For Christmas, I asked Santa for a mic. I also looked into courses to teach me how to actually start a podcast. It takes a little time to do the research, but if you really want to rock your New Year's resolutions, this is an important step. But the idea with a plan, or a roadmap, as I like to call it, is that you take your big goals and you break them down into smaller goals. So back to the weight loss example. If you want to lose 20 pounds by the summer, if you break that out over 5 months, then you have smaller goals of losing 4 pounds every month until then. That also helps your mindset. 20 pounds seems like a lot, but if I'm breaking that down into 4 pounds a month, that is totally doable. Number 3, map it out. While my family lives by our Google Calendar, this mama still needs a paper planner. There is something about opening a fresh planner that I just love. Consider me an office supply nerd because I just love putting pen to paper, and not just any pens. I'm obsessed with colored pens. I color code everything, even on my Google Calendar. Every family member has their own color, and I'm consistent with the same color on both the Google Calendar and my paper calendar. I struggle every year with what paper planner to buy because I've yet to find the one that I really love and that covers everything I want it to cover. But with the paper planner, it is easier to see the months laid out. When I was planning to start my podcast, I wrote down all the things I knew I had to do before I could launch, like take the course and actually learn how to record and edit and do all of that wonderful stuff. And then I actually mapped it out on my calendar. So I mapped how long it would take me to complete that course and then picked a date shortly after that to actually launch my podcast. But mind you, as much as you plan and as much as you think you may know, there are some things that you don't know, which I learned along my course. I had actually planned to launch in April, but once I started seeing all the things that I didn't know, I had to push that date out till May. But I did it. Number 4, identify any roadblocks. When you are looking at your goals and creating a plan, look to see what roadblocks you may have. Maybe you need to take a course, but you don't have the money to do that right now. Or in order to afford the class, you need to cut back on something else. Or maybe you want to go for that promotion or a different role at your job, but your manager isn't supportive. If you identify the things now that may prevent you from reaching your goal, you're giving yourself time to create a plan to navigate around that roadblock. And let's be realistic. Other roadblocks are going to pop up throughout the year or things that will throw you off track, but this step at least gets you thinking about what might come up, and then you have a rough plan on how to address it when it does. Number 5, communicate. I cannot stress this enough. Communication makes life so much easier and can help you avoid a lot of stress and drama in your life, in all areas of life, not just in goal planning. But sharing your goals with your family and even your friends, and even possibly your manager at work, helps get them on board and maybe even get you support in achieving your goals. If you tell them what you want to accomplish, and then maybe even follow up what you need from them to help you accomplish them. If your goal is getting to the gym 3 times a week, what does that look like? Maybe you want to go in the early morning, so your husband may need to do a little bit more on those days to help get the kids up and ready for school. Or evenings are better, so you need him to help with dinner a few nights. Or to be the one to actually get the kids to sports and dance, or whatever activities they have. Or maybe it means you getting a babysitter a few nights a week. Maybe you want to take a course at work to help you build your skill sets up. I'm actually interested in moving to a different group at work, and I've talked to my manager about it. There's a bit of a skill set gap for me, so I've talked to my manager about allowing me to work on one-off projects with this group to help me build up my skill set, so that way, when a role opens up, they know I'm ready for it. I know not every company and every manager is that supportive, but you won't know until you actually have the conversation. Number 6, manage your time. And I know someone that can help you with this one. But seriously, stop wasting time. Be stronger than your excuses. And the biggest excuse I hear from moms is that they don't have time. But it's not just about finding more time. It's about being intentional with the time that you have, prioritizing what you do with that time, and setting healthy boundaries. Number 7, stay consistent. To create any good habit and to stay on track, consistency is key. When I decided to start this podcast, I made a commitment to myself that I will consistently release an episode every week. I'm 30 weeks in, or probably 32 by now, and I have not missed 1 week. When I create my to-do list, when all of my family's needs are met, the podcast is on my top priority. I make sure to get it done and edited, and then I do all of the rest of the things I want to do or that are on my list. If going to the gym is your goal, then be consistent. Make that your non-negotiable. Number 8, Keep learning. If you want to grow, make changes, reach your goals, be a better person than you were yesterday, then you need to be consistently educating yourself. You want to lose weight and get healthier? You need to learn what foods are healthy for you, what foods to stay away from, what exercises will help you work on the areas you want to tone. If you want to get that promotion at work, you need to identify the skills you need for that position and what gaps you may have and learn those skills so that when you apply for that position, it's a no-brainer that you're the best one for the job. Or again, if you're crazy like me and have bigger goals and want to start your own business, there is so much you need to learn. And I'll say it again. What I'm learning is there's so much I didn't know that I didn't know. So keep learning. Number 9, create a vision board. More and more, you're hearing successful people talking about manifesting your dreams into reality and the power of visualizing your future successful self. While I am a strong believer in manifestation, I also believe that it goes hand in hand with hard work. For the past few years, I've gotten into vision boards. I actually use Pinterest, but the last 2 years, I've made a vision board using oak tag and magazines. This year, I'm actually going to do it in a couple of pages in my planner, so that way I always have it to look back on. But I love being creating and crafting, so have fun with it. It's also a way to reuse all those old magazines and not feel so guilty about recycling them. When I'm done with my oak tag vision board, I put it right outside my bedroom so that every morning when I wake up, it's right in front of my face and it helps me refocus and remind me of what I want to get out of this year. So, a huge believer in vision boards. And last but not least, number 10, get to work. Now that you have a plan in place, it's time to do the hard part, actually implementing the plan. So, get to work and be stronger than your excuses. And there you have it, mamas. I hope this throwback episode gave you some solid inspiration and practical steps to create a plan for your best year yet. Remember, setting clear goals, breaking them into smaller steps, and giving yourself the grace to just adjust along the way are really the secrets to staying on track. And as you plan for 2025, don't forget the power of consistency and communication. Share your goals with your family, get them on board, and make space for the things that truly matter to you. You've got this. I've got you. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to take a moment to leave a review. It's one of my biggest goals to grow this show in 2025, and your reviews make all the difference. And if you know another stressed out mama who could use these tips, please share this episode with her. You might just help her have her best year yet too. I'd love to hear what goals you're setting for yourself and how you're planning to achieve them. So come on over and let's chat in my Facebook group, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. And I'll see you back here soon for more inspiration on living your best mama life. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat.